Talk about the actual portrayal. What is this actual portrayal
It's
called, and
the
who's the queen?
costume that you will see is called Water is Life. It was designed by Franklin Jacques. It took about 2 weeks to actually 2 weeks, and here we go. This is a lovely shot of the Queen of Carnival, and it's a lot of fabric that is cut and hand sewn onto the main frame.
Or smell that falls from clouds as rain that forms the streams, lakes, rivers, and the seas. If there is no water, life ceases to exist. The two categories of water on our planet are salty and fresh water. This costume embodies all forms of water. The wave depicts the water that surrounds our twin islands. Silver symbolizes the rivers, lakes, and the streams. The different shades of blue represent all oceans and water. Different fabrics were used for the flow of the water. All shades of blue foil, braids, tinsel, spangles, gems, and nylon netting were used to create and decorate the costume. For the structure, steel, fiberglass, aluminum rods, PVC rods, and wire were used to construct. Ladies and gentlemen, on stage, Queen number 1, Turona Rambarose Mohammed, her portrayal, Water is Life. In the creative category, her costume was designed by Franklin Jagdeo, and she is from the band, The Spirit of the Elements. We are looking at this costume, which is approximately 20 feet wide and 25 feet in height. This is the costume Water is Life, worn by Queen number 1, Turona Rambarose Mohammed, in the creative category. For she is the creator of life. The singing of the birds and the swaying of the trees, the aroma of the flowers and joyful laughter all give her purpose. With every procreation of life, her power grows as it adds to the beauty of the world. Using her cosmic powers and aided by her winged beast that guards her keep, she unleashes her wrath upon those who destroy or threaten the beauty of life. Respect and protect the beauty of all flora and fauna, or suffer the wrath of the sorceress of life, the dragon whisperer, the lady of beauty, Azalea, the serpent sorceress. Designed by Varma Leo Lacan, built by Sheldon Lewis and Varma Lacan, carried on 3 wheels at a height of 40 feet and a width of 25 feet. We have this powerful sorceress riding her winged serpent. Materials used: fiberglass, aluminum rods, fabric, foam, molding, and sequins. Ladies and gentlemen, on stage, Queen number 2, Savitri Holasi, her portrayal, Azalea, the serpent sorceress, in the fantasy category, from the band Entourage Productions. On stage, Queen number 2, Savitri Holasi. Her portrayal, Azalea, the Serpent Sorceress.
The Dream Catcher.
Love this young queen on stage right now, the Dream Catcher. Predominantly white costume, of course. She has a lot of promise. I'm seeing her maneuvering as best as she can. Judges will be paying attention, of course, to the portability of the costume.
That's right. And remember, they allowed 3 wheels, nothing more than 16 inches. So, and she's using it well. She didn't have a problem with the breeze last on the semi-final night, obviously, because the costume, the way it's constructed. As I said, in preliminary rounds, she was 354 points. She placed 8th. And in the semi-final round, she made 407 points and placed 4th. So a leap of 4.
I think we could agree that the fact that her costume did not have to withstand the wind as much as some of the other queens may have accounted for her significant jump.
As you mentioned, the wind is just like a dream catcher. The wind passes through. It doesn't necessarily push the costume, so the wind will just sort of pass through, especially those spaces there that she has in the what we would call a traditional dream catcher up on top of the costume there.
Well, she's a student and has dreams of becoming a flight attendant. So, but started in junior mass. So a lot of them, this is the second time appearing on the big stage. So, you know, it's old and new for them because she's quite accustomed. Her family does bring a kiddies band. So, and it's called Kiddies Fun Time Mass.
All right.
So she's very accustomed to all the glitter and glamour of a queen and kiddies costumes.
Elegantly and daintily, she dances her sanguine dance, radiating with her inspiring aura, showing her vivid orange color amongst the dark hues of the black. She reminds all that while change is constant, every ending brings with it the potential of great new beginnings. Behold, the messenger of good fate, and be blessed by the dance of the monarch butterfly, that your colors may shine with a ray of optimism even on your darkest days. On stage, Queen number 4, Dana Rampersad, with her portrayal, Flight of the Monarch Butterfly, in the fantasy category. This spectacle before you was
And we were just mentioning that the breeze is taking its time, behaving itself this evening.
Yes, it is. But again, designer, I think, had that in mind. If you notice, there's spaces within the costume.
Yeah.
Right? Yes, just now I saw a little bit of pyrotechnics. I don't know if that costume needs it. It is a beautiful thing as it stands. She's moving very, very easily. Again, 3 wheels, no more than 16 inches. And it's well designed. It's well balanced from the front to the back. You watch that graceful movement of the kind of undercape, really giving you a lovely effect of the monarch butterfly, a fitting tribute to one of the beautiful things of nature.
Takara, she who developed a lifelong bond with her rare and unique birds that with their ability to camouflage themselves enabled them to overcome untold dangers together. The front of the costume depicts the beautiful Princess Takara with her enchanted birds forever at her side, along with the protection of her tribe's shields. The back of the costume depicts the splendor and beauty of the African continent. Green and gold materials are used to bring out the dynamic beauty of this costume. Princess Takara. The costume, constructed on a frame of aluminium tubing, fiberglass, net, wire, fluorescent foil, braids, and sequins. Her body costume is made of green and gold materials, decorated with sequins and braids. This costume is 20 feet in height, 26 feet in width. Queen Laura Rampersad portraying Princess Takara in the creative topical category. Airbrushing done by Jazzy Aziz.
Well, Cindy, would you like to try it?
Well, quite a heavy costume and all.
And please note that she's carrying that costume. There's no wheel assistance.
Yes.
There's nothing at all. And that costume was a bit more than 100 pounds.
This costume was inspired by the song Black Woman, a reminder of ancestral royalty, tribal identity, and the beauty of a courageous people. From the perils of slavery through the journey of time, her strength and uniqueness endures. Evolve, warrior queen, stay strong. Celebrate life. Dance to the rhythm of freedom. Bring our carnival alive. This costume, made from materials like carrot leaves, coquillage sticks, burlap, and brown cotton, wild cane arrows, water bottles, papier-mâché, chicken wire, cardboard, and newspapers. Hand painting on the fabric. This is the Queen, mystical warrior queen, celebrating the strength of a black woman. This is Maria Davis.
Interesting about this costume. What is interesting about this costume, if you look at a lot of it, there are plastic bottles that they use. The normal disposable plastic bottles, that's on the arms. And the designer chose to use a lot of natural material. Brown cotton, cane arrows, and a lot of all that work is papier-mâché. So he's kept the tradition, and I'll say congratulations to Mark Raymond, and if you know the name, you will know him as King of Carnival last year, right? And it's really and the masquerade is having a ball. I know Maria is a professional dancer,
yes.
And it shows.
Very, very animated presentation there from her.
And the designer has again gone into the thing of having levers and things that have things move up and down. So you're not only getting the movement of the masquerader, you're getting that additional movement, and she is certainly working every bit of that costume. It's a joy when you go, and she's all excited. They all got involved in making the costume.
So we have seen 6 queens thus far, and when we come back around, we have the remaining 4, our Carnival Kings, as well as a lot more entertainment. This is the March Gras 2024.
When we think of the African safari, we think of iconic wildlife such as lions, elephants, giraffes, zebras, leopards, or rhinos. But deeply embedded in the Pearl of South Africa, the safari is also home to almost 700 species of butterflies, uniquely diverse in color and size, from the tiniest blues and coppers to the biggest swallowtails, emperors, and the African monarch. With its commanding presence, the African monarch gives its own unforgettable, thrilling, and highly sought-after experience to sightseers worldwide at numerous butterfly watching safaris in Africa. This rare and vibrant butterfly species is widely embraced and celebrated for its striking beauty and charisma, and is a wonder to behold to nature lovers. In addition to its cultural significance and aesthetic charm, the African monarch represents happiness, transformation, hope, and faith, while making an invaluable contribution to our environment. The Queen, the African monarch, Piola Marchand, on stage. She captivates our senses. She's dazzling our eyes with her magnificent wings, patterned with intensely colored scales of lime green. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Queen number 7, Piola Marchand. Her portrayal, the African monarch butterfly, in the creative category.
Marchand, the African monarch butterfly in the creative category. Now, we were just talking about the fact that sometimes themes do recur in any given year, whether it's on stage for kings and queens or whether it is in music. And here we have our second butterfly for the evening.
Well, you know what? Sometimes designers look for something that's delicate, especially when dealing with the queen's costume. And what could be more delicate and beautiful than a butterfly?
And she does still dress up for soul. But now she on stage singing calypso. Trinidad change.
Tourist Annie was an entrepreneur. She had a big basket of fruits, flowers, and trinkets, and held a shak-shak in her hands. She will dress in bright colors and dance and sell her products to the white tourists. The use of handmade flowers, hand painting, wire bending, and fabric was done to bring out the realistic look of this costume. The materials of burlap, satin, and sheer fabric was used. We see a dancer carrying a basket of flowers and trinkets. The basket is woven with burlap and shaped with wire and fiberglass rods. She twirls and layers of the dancer's skirts with a cascading basket of flowers made from wired, hand-painted satin. We see the gold, the blue, the white, yellow, and red. This is Queen number 8, Elizabeth Lucas. Her portrayal, Dance, Annie, Dance, a tribute to Tourist Annie in the historical category.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. As I said, this was one of my favorites, Elizabeth Lucas. The only competitor this evening in the historical category.
Well, for a lot of the younger people, I mean, my era would know Turisani quite clearly. But this is one queen that used the wind to her advantage on semi-final night, because the breeze actually made that back skirt dance. And she really got the movement. Not to say today with a little less wind, but because she's moving it so smoothly, you get that feel. That's like a huge ballet skirt.
Yes.
And that is what she's doing. You know, she's told me she started making flowers, this little miniature flowers to sell. And that gave her the idea for the costume. You know, and then she did all the research on Tourist Annie and handmade all of those flowers you see there. So that is to the masquerader's credit. And when I did his notes, I said, designed by Elizabeth Lucas, made by Elizabeth Lucas, and worn by Elizabeth Lucas.
That is amazing.
Right? She started in October to do work on the costumes. And she tributes a lot of the things to a junior band, Ruth Mendez, because that is a kind of personal push up. You know, so she has been on the senior stage several times, so she's not a newbie, but playing something that's extremely pleasing in history. Turisani is an icon, or was an icon, and is a lovely tribute.
And honestly, Randy, I just love the way she uses the front of the belles like skirt and the hibiscus on top of the costume. Truly beautiful.
Extracting their blood and savoring the taste of their evil deeds, she intensifies in color. Her power knows no limits, and her actions bears no mercy. Refrain from your evil and malicious ways, or suffer her merciless wrath. Behold, the huntress of the night, the protector of the innocent, the Red Widow, Queen Tarantula. Queen number 9, Roxanne Omala, with her portrayal, Queen Tarantula, in the creative category.
Well, what you see, there's a bit of pyrotechnics there, and you have to get permission to do that. You can't just have your costume light a fire, because remember, a couple of years ago we had an accident. But in the preliminary round, she gained 392 points and placed second. And the semi-final round, she did 418 points and placed third. As I said, the whole of Mayaro right now is on their feet, you know, breaking down and really cheering her on. Now, the designer smartly used like an underskirt, but if you notice, it's very light and very breezy. So it gives the width without causing a problem with wind or anything like that. And it just gives, that is the web that the Queen Tarantula is on. A Velma Lacan design. And we say a very special congratulations to Marissa Daniel and Arif Gamtoon for making of the costume.
But Roxanne Omala would have actually won this title already in the past.
Yes,
no?
This is like 10 years she's playing mass. So it's amazing when you hear and watch her while trying on this costume and be prepared. And she's talking to her folks in Mayaro, making sure that everything is going smoothly. You know, she has great plans for Mayaro, and say congratulations to her. But right now, she is the Queen Tarantula, and she's on stage at the Queen's Park Savannah.
No, Randy, we were just talking about the beautiful, delicate things that draw designers in, the butterflies and whatnot. But what stands out for me, what I particularly enjoy about this costume, is the spectacle and the terror.
Yeah.
I love it.
For example, bamboo. banana trees, hibiscus flowers, and vines, just to call a few. Birds, snakes, lizards, and butterflies are just some of our living creatures. Nature is essential for life. We get everything we need to survive from Mother Nature.
Too long. 'Cause when I'm around you, I feel like in heaven.
On stage, Queen number 10, Priya Nagasar, with her portrayal, Mother Nature, Beauty of Nature, in the creative category. So the costume has fabric, sparkle, netting, flowers, vines, bamboo, fig trees, spangles, braids, and gems were used to decorate this costume. For the structure, steel, fiberglass, and aluminum rods, PVC pipes, and wire were used to construct the frame. Queen Priya Nagasar on stage with her portrayal, Mother Nature, Beauty of Nature.
And this is a defending champion here. On stage right now, it is the current Queen of Carnival, and she's defending her crown hands. And what do you think? What is your view on that?
Listen, I love when someone comes back around to defend their title. Does have that beautiful hibiscus feel there with the little stem in the middle of the Mother Nature, Beauty of Nature costume. We're loving the colors, we're loving the greens, you know, popping out of the costume, and the way they incorporate. Are those actual branches, Randy?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yes, they some of it is real, some of it is artificial, but it's the combination of both. In the preliminary round, she placed 11th, and in the semi-final round, she stepped up one, she came 10th. But it's a beautiful, if you look at it, it's a whole hibiscus that's kind of opening into a butterfly. I mean, this is where designers take a license,
Creative license.
a creative license.